In this video I take my warriors to once again battle my good friend Manne and his Empire army. I'm Alex, and you're watching Winterwolf Miniatures. Okay, so it's been a while since I made a proper battle report. They take quite a long time to make because it's a lot of editing. And the 9th Age battle report isn't exactly the best content, if I'm honest, since it's a rather small community. That said, I love doing them, but you better hit like if you enjoy watching them. I'm looking at you. Today you have these guys to thank for this video, my patrons. Share some love for them in the comments, as they are the sponsors of this video. I also have a new patron. A big welcome to Colin Lightfoot. Thanks, mate. You are awesome. I hope you are excited about this one. I certainly am, and I promise you it will be an epic battle. As usual, you can find the army lists in the description. Last time my warriors fought Manne's Empire troops, I got my ass handed to me in a basket. I'll put a link to that battle report somewhere in the description. This time I'm here for revenge. We rolled for deployment and secondary objective, and got marching columns and King of the Hill. Manne chose the lake as his terrain piece to protect, and I chose the forest. But then of course I burned it down into a ruin. Because screw forests. Deployment is boring, so let's skip that. There we are. After the 3 token units in marching columns, he dropped everything and went for first turn. I deployed like this to counter, the Chariot and the Forsaken one on the left flank to soak up some shooting, protecting my warriors, and the Knights hanging back on the right flank, protecting the rest of my army from being flanked. The Herald is in the middle with the Chosen. The Mage is deployed with the warriors here. And my General is of course over here. My tactic for this fight was to at least stop him from getting the secondary objective and try to win by killing his army, and if I can, claim the secondary for my own. He then scouted his archers on the left as to be expected, and I vanguard the flayers on the far right a bit, just to be in a better shooting position for turn 1. Empire turn 1. He moves his infantry forwards and rolls up the steam tank straight ahead, and then he gets a couple of ridiculous dice rolls. First, he rolls 17 with 3 dice for flaming swords on the crossbowmen, and then he rolls 17 with 3 dice again for altered sight on the crossbowmen as well. He of course gets both spells. He shoots with his archers on the Forsaken one, and again his rolls is out of this world. 13 hits out of 16 shots on a 5-up roll. The other archers shoots as well, and altogether they make 4 wounds on the Forsaken one. Ouch. The militias, or whatever they are called these days, shoots at the flayers and kills 1. And then the seriously enhanced crossbowmen shoots at the warriors, killing 8. Yeah, that's not good. And the steam tank kills a knight. Warriors turn 1. The Forsaken one moves up 11 inches, and the rest of the army moves like this. The Herald hides behind the house, and the Wolves blocks steam tank. The Knights just hang back on the right flank. He uses a scroll on Wrath of God, so I can't cast that, but I cast Silver Spike on his Marshal and make 2 wounds. And I think I killed 1 or 2 guys with my shooting, with my immense shooting power. Empire turn 2, the steam tank, having no choice, rolls into the wolves, but except for that there are not much movement. He kills 2 Chosen with Pyroclastic Flow after this impressive armor save roll from me, and then he rolls like a dice guard again, and gets both flaming swords and altered sight on the militia dudes. The crossbowmen fire at the knights, but it does nothing, and the archers shoot at the Forsaken one, but it doesn't care about that. So the militia opens up on him and kills him. The wolves kills the steam tank. Kidding. The wolves of course dies, and this is what it looks like at the start of Warriors turn 2. The Chosen charges the tank in the side. The Chariot charges the archers on the far left, who flees. The Warriors charges the other archers, who also flees. The militias and the greatsword units pass their panic tests, no problem. After failed charges, this is my new position. The Warriors got a 6, which is not good. That is too close to the greatsword unit for comfort. The Herald found a spot where no one could see him, so he claimed it as his own. I got Flux card 1, which was a bummer because I really wanted to cast some spells this turn. but all I got was another silver spike on the Empire General, and caused 2 wounds. The flayers haven't moved, so this shot couldn't possibly be easier, but they still managed to miss all of them. But the Herald breathes fire upon the greatswords and kill 5. Oh, right, with the silver spike casted, I also made the tank flammable. The Chosen activated the flaming banner and made 4 wounds. I was hoping to kill it actually, but I'm still happy with that. The tank made 2 wounds back and kills 1 of the Chosen. Empire turn 3. The flying Marshal dude charges the warriors in the side here. And the Empire Knights get off a sneaky side charge on my knights. The archers keep running, but the other ones rally. He then lines up his militia in range to fire their pistols on the warriors. That's strength 4, AP 2, and it has me worried a bit. His plan is of course to kill a few of them and then stand and shoot when I charge. Altered Sight is successfully cast on the militia, but I dispel flaming swords. No worries, he still doesn't make any wounds on the warriors, maybe his dice rolling glory days are over, but his crossbowman makes 3 wounds on the Herald, which, sucks. The Empire Knights is of course no match for the Chaos Knights, and I win and reform. The Chosen makes another 2 wounds on the tank, and it makes no wounds back. The Warrior Champion challenges the Marshal on the Pegasus, but they make no wounds on each other. Warriors turn 3. I charge the militia with the chariot. He holds. I charge the warriors on them as well, and he stands and shoots, but only kills 2. I then charge the Herald into the greatsword block, and at this point he sees his mistake, but it's too late. The crossbowman, however, gets to do a stand and shoot, and they make another wound on him. I get Breath of Corruption on my Herald and 2+ armor on the warriors, and of course kills all the militia. I overrun and makes an Empire sandwich, and then the slaughter begins. I activate Idol of Spite on my general to get 9 strength 6 attacks. I challenge with my unit champion and he accepts with his. Then I lay it all down on him. In the end he gets the last little wound on my herald, but also loses a lot of greatswords. I lose 1 warrior, but he is of course bodyguard and stubborn, and because my herald died he can now reform. So he does. In the meantime, the Chosen finishes off the tank, and the warrior champion gets a wound on the Pegasus Marshal. It flees and is run down. Empire turn 4. He charges his general to help the greatswords, and blocks my chariot with his archers. The other archers rallies, he moves up his spearmen to here, and the mage leaves the crossbowmen fearing a charge from the Chosen. On the right flank he charges his crazy guys into the knights to help. He gets flaming swords on the crossbowmen and the reroll to wound spell on his greatswords. The crossbowman shoots the Chosen, but the champion survives. In the big fight, the champions are still locked in a duel, so no other duels are possible. These are the 2 factions' most offensive units, and they of course make minced meat of each other. This time I lose with a couple of points, but pass my break test. Warriors turn 4. I charge the archers with my chariot. As I cannot see the fight at this point, he just flees. They run away and the chariot mischarges to here. The Chosen champion passes his march test and takes a bath, claiming the secondary objective. All my flayers now get a new primary target and runs into position to shoot at the mage. No interesting spells are cast and my flayers only makes 1 wound on the mage. Oh well, it was worth a shot. The knights have, as you can see, lost 1 dude but have killed all the enemy knights. And now they are hacking away at these guys. But they hack more and the knights die. In the big fight he kills the last of my warriors, and the Empire General becomes free from combat. Empire turn 5. The General charges the chariot, the Flagellants charges and makes their long charge to get to the Chosen in the lake. The Spearman backs up to give the crossbowmen a better shot at my warriors. His mage hides with the crossbowmen again. And they altogether kill 3 warriors. The Chosen kills 3 but are then sadly killed. The Empire General makes 1 wound on the chariot and it reforms. The last turn, the Greatsword Champion killed the Warrior Champion, so my General is now free to issue challenges. He does, and the Greatsword Champion is the first one to step up to the chopping block. I claim his head as a trophy, with maximum overkill, and win the fight. Warriors turn 5. The Empire General makes another wound on the chariot, and earlier in the movement phase my warriors marched up and my flayers blocked the spearmen. My General issues another challenge, and the brave Prelate steps up. But I roll like an idiot and only makes 2 wounds on him. Empire turn 6. Archers charges in to get some more static combat points, and the Spearman charges the Flayers. Magic and shooting is uneventful, and in the melee phase he of course kills the Flayers. The Empire General makes another wound on the Chariot, and it has had enough, and bravely decide to run away. Not very far though, and the Empire General catches it. And the Chosen General kills the Prelate and claims another head for his collection. Warriors turn 6. Last turn. The warriors brave the water and charges the flagellants and kill them, thus also claiming the secondary objective. The Chosen General issues another challenge, and at this point the Battle Standard Bearer has no choice and have to accept. I kill him and claim his head, win the fight, but the pesky greatswords manages to pass their break test anyway, even without bodyguard this time. And there ends this game. It has surely been a thrilling one. I will tell you the score shortly, but before that, please help me growing my channel. Do that by hitting like and commenting. It doesn't matter at all what you comment, just say hi or something. You can also share the video to some of your friends. And of course subscribe if you haven't already. You can also check out my Patreon page and Instagram page for more miniature fun. And now the score. In the end I get a total of 2,583 kill points, but the Empire gets a whooping 3,012. But since I also got the secondary objective, the final score is 12 against 8. And a minor victory for me. Not the vengeance I had in mind perhaps, but I'll take it. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks again to my awesome Patreons. And have a good one, and I'll see you soon.